1 of the fantasy football season, and here's a few tight ends you could use as a sleeper this week and put in your lineup, and I still think they can produce. The first guy is Jared Cook of the Los Angeles Chargers. So Jared Cook, he left the New Orleans Saints here in the offseason and signed a deal with the Chargers. And the Chargers, we know they got a pretty good offense. You know they got a good young gun at quarterback in Justin Herbert. And right here, Jared Cook throughout his career, we've seen him be a viable red zone threat, and this is why he's still in the league. I know he's bounced around the last few seasons between the Packers, the Raiders, obviously last year the Saints, and now he's here with the Chargers. But right now, he's available in 74% of fantasy leagues, and I think he could find the end zone in this game. I know Washington's a pretty stout defense over there, especially with the ball game in Washington this week here. But Jared Cook, like I said, he could be a threat. And he's a guy that many defenses aren't going to pay attention to. All the defenses, they're going to roll the coverage to Keenan Allen and deep threat ball, Michael Williams as well. So right here, it wouldn't surprise me this week to see Jared Cook get 30, 40 yards and find the end zone versus this Washington team, especially if this is a ball game where the Chargers are going to be trailing and have to throw the football. So right here, I like Cook's chances this week as a sleeper option at the tight end position. The next tight end, Zach Ertz of the Philadelphia Eagles. So Zach Ertz, he's the number 2 tight end now this season over there in Philly with the new head coaching staff and stuff, and Dallas Goedert being their guy over there at the tight end position. But Zach Ertz, in my opinion, he still could go out there and get the job done. And this week, he's got a great matchup on paper at the Atlanta Falcons, who give up tons of touchdowns to receivers and tight ends last season. And this year, I think it's going to be more of the same. They didn't really upgrade the defense. I know they got Kyle Pitts in the first round of the draft, which was a great draft pick, but I felt like this team needed to address the defense more. And in this game, this is where I think Jalen Hurts is going to go to. He's going to rely on the tight ends, especially in red zone situations. And I don't think Zach Ertz is totally washed up, so I think he can find the end zone in this game, even if he gets 20 or 30 yards. The tight end position obviously isn't that strong once again this season in fantasy football. So a guy like Zach Ertz, it wouldn't be that crazy to have him in your lineup this week, and it wouldn't be surprising to me that he finds the end zone and gets 30 or 40 yards. So I have him as a sleeper, and he's available in 64% of fantasy leagues. And the final tight end I have as a sleeper this week, and for coming into the season in general, was Anthony Firkser, the Tennessee Titans. We saw a few games when Jonnu Smith was out last season. Firkser was being a pretty solid tight end filling in here for Jonnu Smith. And I know Julio Jones is there now in Tennessee. He's going to get a lot of targets, him, A.J. Brown. But Firkser is going to be a guy a lot of defenses aren't going to pay attention to right now. And I know him and Jeff Swain, former Dallas Cowboy, might split reps at tight end. But I think Firkser is the better tight end. He's better playmaker and a decent red zone target as well for Tannehill and this Titan team. So this week they got a matchup versus the Arizona Cardinals coming into town. And I don't think this Arizona Cardinal defense really is that good. Last season we saw a lot of shootouts with the Cardinals, and I think this ball game has a shootout written all over it. We could see both teams got in the high 20s to mid 30s in this one. And that wouldn't surprise me to see Firkser score a sneaky touchdown in this ball game. So that's a few tight ends I have as sleepers here in week 1 of the fantasy football season.